Hi, hello there. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to set up my daily journal for the month of October. So this was previously my social media slash habit journal or hobby journal, but I've mostly just been journaling in it every day. So I figured I would just turn it into a daily journal. So the first thing that I'm doing here is just showing you all of the stuff that I'll be using today. Some of this I didn't end up using, but basically my theme for October for my daily journal is to use as many stamps as possible. As we know, I have a ton of stamps if you've watched any of my previous hauls, so I want to make sure that I'm actually using them. So for my cover page for October, I am actually taking inspiration from Heba from my little journal, and I'm doing a double cover page with just October written real big or stamped really big in the center. And then I'm going to be using the stamp set and outline from Studio Calico. And then I'm just going to kind of pick a bunch of little random icon-y type stamps and just create a little flow, like a diagonal type flow on the page so that it kind of gives the page some character. And I'm using the dark brown and inky black inks from Studio Calico as well. For my main letters of October, I did use Paprika from Close to My Heart. And I believe I also use Mink in the setup from Close to My Heart, and those are the only stamps that I actually ended up using this month. Or stamp pads. This little word phrase that says how many decorative pumpkins are too many, asking for a friend, of course. I loved it, so I definitely had to put that on my cover page. So moving on to my next page, these are really the only extra pages that I've been adding into my daily journal. I do a little calendar spread and then also a mood and habits page. Since I've now got these next to each other, I also have a YouTube section on here, and this is where I kind of write down my plan for what I'm going to post on what day. So that would normally go under my calendar, but since I did my calendar more in the middle of the page and I had this empty space on my left page, I just put it over there to kind of have them there. So I didn't actually put out any moods that I'm tracking or habits that I'm tracking as of right now when I'm doing the initial setup, but they will be in the final flip through if you're interested in either of those. I usually track 5 different mood categories, and it's usually if I'm angry, or if I'm tired or feeling ill, because usually I feel those simultaneously. And then I have a meh section, an okay neutral option, and then a happy option as well. And then for my habits this month, I'm tracking journaling and washing my face. So since I'm going to be using the same stamps for all of my headers, on these 2 pages, I am going to flip back and forth on both pages, basically just doing whatever letters that I already have the stamp out for, which I have spoken about before in previous videos. I just feel like it's faster to stamp that letter in every place where it would exist. washi tape that I'm adding to the bottom and the top of my spread is from Paper Minty Studio. Unfortunately, she's closed down her shop for the rest of the year, so I won't be able to link that below, but I can just go ahead and link her normal shop. If anybody's back watching this video, they at least have the link. And then the black and white grid, I believe I got off of Etsy. So then I'm gonna move on and just add a couple more stamps just to add a little bit more decoration. I'm using October to title up my calendar, the leaf that I used on the main page, and then I'm going to add another stamp which says temps are cooling down and my oven is heating up, and I just thought that was super cute, especially since in fall time people usually do more baking. So now I'm just kind of adding in some highlights. For my mood tracker, I usually do like a grid format because I feel like it's easier to figure out where I'm putting my dots whenever I go in and actually track my mood for the month. And then that's going to be it for that page. So now we're going to get into my weekly setups. And I did so much stamping. So I did kind of edit this to speed it up because I swear I had like an hour of just me stamping and it was a lot. So I'm kind of cutting it so that you basically just see the stamp go down each time. So I've got Saturday and Sunday real big on their own page since that's technically the first week of October, and then I'll move into each of my weekly setups. Unfortunately, I deleted the very last spread of this video and I'm so upset about it because it's literally my favorite one. But it'll be in my final flip through because I also deleted that and I have to refilm that anyways. So you'll get to see that last spread in my final flip through. It looks so good. And then I'm basically just making a pattern with this stamp that says homebody because I am very much a homebody. So I'm just stamping this at an angle over and over again. And I'm gonna do that on the top and the bottom of this weekly setup. And then I'm also going to kind of move it over to the page that's just got Saturday and Sunday on it. I figured it would be a good way to tie these two pages together since it's technically two separate weeks, but they're kind of set up the same so they look a little bit more cohesive, at least to me. I really like this stamp. It's so cute. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on and stamp my days of the week. I have 6 areas here, so Saturday and Sunday will be on the same day. So I know I've mentioned this in videos before, but I do film in front of my window, so I primarily use natural light. So you'll see the light kind of fluctuate a little bit here and there throughout the video. I do try to fix some of that in after editing, post-editing, whatever it's called. But for the most part, I just kind of make minimal effort because I don't really feel like it looks super bad. So for this next week, I am going to do the same type of stamping that I did on that second week of October, but I'm going to be using a stamp that just says autumn. And instead of inking it up each time, I'm going to be using second generation and sometimes third generation stamping so that I get a little bit of color variation. I'm also not trying to make it as perfect. Clearly that didn't really work as well as I was hoping when I was stamping homebody, so I just went into stamping this one with very little expectations. And this spread is my second favorite for the whole month. So this one and my last week, which you'll see in the video, like the flip through at the very end, are my 2 favorite spreads this month. So I'm gonna go ahead and just handwrite my dates only in once I finish stamping. By the time I got to this point in filming the video, my hand was killing me. I am a very aggressive stamper. And I don't know why, but by the time I got to this point, like, my finger was cramping and just like getting stuck and just completely in pain. So I was like, whoo, goodness, I'm just gonna write these numbers myself. And I do that for the remainder of the video, I believe. This is the last one that I've got filmed, and I do handwrite the numbers in on this one as well. This particular spread that I'm doing right now, I dislike it so much. And I don't know particularly what I did that I dislike so much, but I do. I'm probably gonna end up covering up the stamping block, like the stamp block that I did. Maybe it's because I didn't like line it off like the rest of my blocks, but I don't like it. I really love this stamp that says leggings, leaves, and lattes because life, you know? And then I added this coffee cup, and it was really cute. And really, that's the last that I liked. I end up adding like a couple of leaves, which were cute as well if I had kept them in the little like square, so that matched the one underneath it. But then I add this hay bale and color it in this really dark like gray, and it's just not cute anymore. I'm gonna add more leaves to try and fix it, but I still don't like it, so I might end up just pulling a piece of scrap dot grid paper out of one of my other notebooks and just covering this completely and redoing it. So after I add my numbers here, we're just gonna jump right into the final flip through. So if you've made it to the end of this video, let me know what your favorite spread was below. Okay, thanks, bye.